Friends, today we are going to study three different processes which are called fertilization, embryo development, then parturition, and last but not the least, lactation. Now, fertilization is the event which leads to the formation of zygote. Fertilization is followed by a process known as coitus. And during coitus, through penis, semen is released into vagina of female. Semen contains seminal plasma and millions of sperms. The sperms rapidly swim from the vaginal passage to the cervix and they pass through the uterus. In the swimming of sperms, the secretions of vaginal wall and uterine wall helps the sperms. From cervix to the uterus, and then the sperms come into the ampullary region of oviduct or fallopian tube. Ampullary region is the region between the ampulla and the isthmus of the oviduct. The ova or ovum, which is released from the ovary, enters into the oviduct through infundibulum, and it also enters into the ampullary region. Ampullary region is the site where fertilization takes place. Fertilization is nothing but the fusion of male and female gamete, that means the ova and the sperm cell. So here, if you can observe, the ova or ovum is released from the ovary, enters into oviduct through infundibulum. The sperms from the vagina into cervix, into the uterus, and they enter into the oviduct. Ampullary region is the region where meeting of sperm and ova occurs. Now, when sperm cells and ova come into contact with each other, then only the fertilization occurs. That means it is necessary that the simultaneously released sperms and ova comes into contact with each other in the ampullary region. And that is why not all the coitus results into pregnancy. Only when both of them comes into contact with each other in the ampulla, only then fertilization takes place, not at any other site. Now, when the sperm comes into contact, that means millions of sperms come into contact with the ova or released ovum. When the sperm comes into contact with the ova or ovum, the sperm will induce some changes in the outermost layer of ovum, that is called zona pellucida. And zona pellucida is converted into fertilization membrane. And so that it will block the entry of other sperms. So we can say that only single sperm and single ovum are incorporated in this fertilization process. Now, the acrosome of the sperm secrete some of the enzymes, out of which one is high uroneidase, we have studied earlier. It will help the sperm to enter through the zona pellucida and the plasma membrane. The head and the middle piece of sperm enters into the ovum and they are converted into male pronucleus or male gamete. The entry of sperm into ovum induces some changes in the ovum itself. First of all, as I told you earlier, the zona pellucida is converted into fertilization membrane. Second thing, it will complete the meiosis of secondary oocyte. Which was produced during the process of oogenesis. The secondary oocyte enters into the second part of meiosis, and this is also an unequal division which will result into the formation of two unequal size of cells. The larger one will be known as an oocyte or mature ovum or egg cell, mature egg cell. And the smaller one will be known as second polar body. Now the oocyte will be converted or will be known as female pronucleus. And now what happens? The male pronucleus is inside the mature egg cell and female pronucleus is also inside it. So the fusion of male pronucleus and female pronucleus takes place, and so that zygote formation takes place. So zygote is prepared. This process is known as fertilization, and fertilization takes place in the ampullary region of oviduct or uterine duct or fallopian tube. Now, how the sex of the fetus or embryo is determined? We know that every cell of a human being contains 23 chromosomes. Which occur in pair. That is 23 pairs of chromosomes occur in the somatic cells. But in reproductive cells, 22 autosomes they will be present, and when we talk about sperms and oocyte, the sperms will be of two types because the autosomes or the mother gamete germ cells, they contain 22 pairs of autosome and one pair of allosome, that is XY in male. And in female, there will be 22 pairs plus XX. So the oocyte of female will contain 22 autosomes plus X, whereas the sperms will be of two types, 22 autosomes plus X, 22 autosomes plus Y. If X type of sperm will fertilize the ova, then female will be produced. Y type of sperm will fertilize the ova, then male will be produced. So the determination of sex always depends upon the type of chromosomes, and it will be determined at the time of fusion of gametes, that means fertilization, and that occurs in the ampullary region of the oviduct. Got it, friends? Yes. Now, after the formation of zygote, which occurs in the ampullary region, the zygote undergoes cleavages. Cleavage is a kind of mitotic divisions in which the number of cells increase but not the size of the cells. So the zygote, which is single cell structure, is converted into 2 cells by the process of cleavage. Then it becomes 4 celled, 8 celled, and then 16 celled. This occurs because of the process of cleavage. Now, the cells which are produced, they are called blastomeres. 16-celled stage is called morula. And morula takes place after 3 days of fertilization. That means after the 3rd day of fertilization. It is a 16-celled structure. You can observe over here. Now, morula, which is 16-celled structure, again undergoes mitotic divisions or cleavages, and it becomes converted into blastocyst. Blastocyst is nothing but a fluid-filled structure in which there will be an outer layer made up of cells, and this is called trophoblast. And on the inner tweet, number of cells are produced, and this is called inner cell mass. This structure occurs between the 5th and 7th day after fertilization, and at that time the blastocyst occurs within the uterus. And when it comes into the uterus, when blastocyst is formed, then the process of implantation takes place. The layer of trophoblast comes into contact with the endometrium. And inner cell mass becomes differentiated in the embryo. The blastocyst becomes arranged in the wall of uterus in such a way that the inner cell mass becomes located on the inner side of the endometrium. And now, the blastocyst and the trophoblast becomes fused with the endometrium layer. The layer of endometrium divides rapidly and it envelops the blastocyst partially. This is termed as implantation. And implantation leads to pregnancy. See, it is not written in the textbook, but after implantation, the body of female or the mother who has conceived, the uterus, the vaginal wall, secretes some kind of enzymes and hormones after implantation. And whether the lady is pregnant or not, to determine that, we have to check the presence of such hormones. If those hormones are present, the lady is pregnant. If the hormones are absent, the lady is not quite pregnant. So this was the process of fertilization and implantation of blastocyst into the uterine wall or endometrium. And now we will move toward the second topic, and that is embryo development. Now we will move toward the second topic, and that is known as pregnancy. embryo development. See, after implantation, what will happen? Finger-like projections develop on the trophoblast, and these finger-like projections are known as chorionic villi. Chorionic villi, along with uterine tissue, become interdigitated, that means become mixed, and they form a structural and functional unit between the embryo, developing embryo, and maternal body. And this structural and functional unit is called the placenta. See, the chorionic villi are surrounded by the uterine tissue as well as the maternal blood. Placenta is responsible for giving oxygen as well as the nutrients, providing oxygens and nutrients to the developing fetus or embryo, and it is also responsible for the removal of carbon dioxide and waste materials from the developing fetus or embryo. The placenta is connected to the embryo with the help of umbilical cord. So umbilical cord is known as the lifeline of the fetus, and it is responsible for the transfer of various kinds of materials from the embryo, in and out of the embryo. The placenta, which is formed, also acts as an endocrine tissue. Endocrine tissue is the tissue which is responsible for the secretion of the hormones. The placenta secretes the hormones like HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, HPL, human placental lactogen, as well as estrogen and progesterone. In the later part of the pregnancy, ovaries also release a hormone known as relaxin. It must be noted that HCG, HPL and relaxin, these are the three hormones which are only secreted during pregnancy. See, now the levels of other hormones are become also increased during the pregnancy in the blood of mother. Those are cortisol, estrogen, progesterone, prolactin and thyroxine. And these hormones are responsible for embryo development. They are also responsible for the metabolism in mother body, They are also responsible for fetal delivery. So this was the outline about the process of implantation and the processes which occur after implantation. Now what happens? After this, that means after implantation, after the formation of placenta, what happens to the trophoblast and inner cell mass? Now what happens? This is the layer of trophoblast. Now inner mass of cells becomes elongated and it becomes converted into a flat disc-like structure. This is called embryonic disc. An embryonic disc contains two layers of cells. The outer one is known as an ectoderm. The inner one is known as endoderm. And now, after some time, the mesoderm is also formed. So, how many germinal layers are produced? 3 germinal layers. Why it is so? Because the human is triploblastic. Triploblastic, that means 3 germinal layers are present. Outermost ectoderm, middle one mesoderm, and inner one endoderm. And these germinal layers will give rise to all the tissues, all the organ systems in future during the course of embryo development or fetal development. Some of the cells of the inner cell mass, they are called the stem cells. And stem cells, have you ever heard about this word, stem cells? Yes. The stem cells are having the potency to produce any of the dead organ of our body. This is very much utilized in the tissue culture, animal tissue culture. Now, see, 3 germinal layers are produced, and now what will happen? What are the different stages of development during the 9 months of pregnancy? We have studied that in humans, the embryo development takes place or the fetal development takes place for the 9 months. At the end of first month, the fetal heart is formed and heart starts beating. So one can hear the sound carefully with the help of stethoscope after the first month of fetal development. In the second month, development of limbs and fingers. After third month, all the organs and organ systems. That means all the limbs and external genitalia can be observed. This is called the first trimester. That means the group of first 3 months. Now the second trimester, in the 5th, at the end of 5th month, what will happen? Hair on head and first movement of fetus. All is well, all is well. Latwage. Hair on head and movement of fetus occurs after the end of 5 months. 6 months. Eyelids become separated. Eyelashes start to grow and the body is covered by fine hair. This is the end of second trimester, and at the end of 9th month, the fetal development is completed and the fetus is ready for delivery. Now we will move towards the third topic, and that is known as parturition or delivery of a baby. Now, this is the last topic, and this is known as parturition. We know that the time of embryo development in humans is of 9 months, around 9 months, and this is known as gestation period. At the end of pregnancy, vigorous contractions of uterine wall induces the removal or delivery or expulsion of baby, and that is known as, that is called delivery or parturition. See, parturition is a result of a complex endocrine mechanism. And the signals of parturition develop from the fully developed fetus and the placenta, and this will induce a slower uterine contractions, that is mild uterine contractions, which will trigger the slow or mild uterine contractions will induce the maternal pituitary gland for the secretion of oxytocin, and the release of oxytocin will act on the smooth muscles of uterine wall, and it will induce vigorous, stronger contractions. That means the simultaneous relationship between the release of oxytocin and the vigorous contractions of the uterine wall will induce the developed baby or the fetus to move further into the uterus and towards the birth canal, and then out of the birth canal, that is called the parturition. See, the fully developed fetus and placenta will induce, that is, development of slower mild contractions, and this is called fetal ejaculation or ejection reflex. And because of the fetal ejection reflex, the maternal pituitary will produce oxytocin. Oxytocin will induce vigorous or stronger contraction of uterine wall, which will help the baby to move further into the uterus and then through the birth canal for the delivery of the baby. That is called parturition. After parturition, what will happen? After parturition, the placenta is also expelled out. Now, what will happen after parturition? In the body of mother, the differentiation of mammary glands takes place. Differentiation. In mammary glands takes place during the period of pregnancy, and at the end of pregnancy they start producing milk. The production of milk at the end of pregnancy is known as the phase of lactation. In the initial days of lactation, the milk which is produced by the mammary glands of the breasts from mother is yellowish, slightly yellowish, and it is known as colostrum. And colostrum is rich in antibodies, and these antibodies are responsible to provide immunity to the developing fetus. And that is, it is recommended by the doctors and the scientists that the newly born baby must be fed with mother's milk for a certain time. So this was the process of parturition as well as the process of lactation. So here, friends, the lesson number 3 is completed. This will be followed by a sheet, a question and answer sheet, and that will be provided on my YouTube channel. Thank you.